Hi, my name is Taylor Andrews, and today I will be speaking with you about the proper way to swing a softball bat. According to the LA Times, there are a couple million people that play softball every year. But according to this survey, still a couple thousand of those people do not know how to properly swing a softball bat. Playing the game of softball is pretty difficult if you know all the techniques. But hitting a softball and swinging a softball bat is probably one of the harder things to do in a softball game. So imagine if you aren't familiar with these proper techniques you're supposed to have, how much harder it would be to get the finished result you want of being able to hit the ball. So the first technique that I will be speaking with you today is your hand placement on the bat and how your hands are supposed to be on the bat. So your hands are supposed to be with your middle knuckles lined up towards the end of the knob on the grip of the bat. You want your door knocking knuckles lined up, which are your middle knuckles. You want your bottom hand slightly tighter than your top hand because your bottom hand is what is going to basically hold on to the bat, and your top hand is the one that's going to give your bat direction when you swing. So you want to make sure that your grip is just tight enough that you can hold on to the bat, but you don't want it to be so tight that you have that kind of white knuckle look, because then you will not be able to have proper wrist movement as you should when you go to swing the bat. So the second technique that I will be speaking about is the way that your feet are supposed to be in the batter's box and how your legs are supposed to be placed and everything. So as you go up to the batter's box, you want to have your feet slightly shoulder width apart. Sometimes if it is a slower pitcher, they'll ask you to move up in the box. And sometimes if it's a pitcher that pitches a little bit faster, they'll ask you to move to the back of the box so you'll have a greater amount of time to react and to swing. But usually, more times than not, you'll just go up to the plate and you'll stand about middle ways in the batter's box. You want to be a couple of inches away from the plate, and you want to have your knees slightly bent. At first, you want your weight to be mostly distributed on your back leg, but we'll talk about next how as you do your swing, you're going to take a small step with your front leg to distribute some of the weight to your front foot as you swing. So the third technique is your actual hand placement and arm and bat placement as you step into the box and get ready to swing your bat. You're not at the point where you want to swing yet, but this is how you're going to get ready and how you want them to be before you swing. So you want your hands, as you're just resting at your resting place as you're waiting for the pitch, you want your hands to be about 2 to 3 inches away from your body. But as you get ready to swing your bat, you want to move the hands from 2 to 3 inches all the way out to about 5 to 7. You want to make sure that your bat head is slightly tilted, and so you want to, as the pitcher starts her pitch, you want to basically throw your hands at her and the ball. So you want your hands to basically go through towards the pitcher, and you want to make sure that your bat head is parallel to the ground. As you do this, you're going to make a small step, which some people refer to as a stride. At first, you're going to have all of your weight on your back foot, but as you go into your speech, as you go into your swing, you want to distribute some of that weight on your front foot, so your weight's a little bit more evenly distributed. It'll help with your power and how hard and far you're able to hit the ball. So let's just start from the beginning so we can make sure we're familiar with all the techniques as we go into our swing and follow through. So as you step up to the plate, you want to make sure your hands are correctly placed on the bat. They're going to be towards the end of your bat, which is called the knob, and you are going to make sure that your hands are tight enough to hold on to the bat, but not so tight that it's hard to move your wrist. And you want your middle knuckles lined up. As you're resting, you want to have your hands 2 to 3 inches from your body, but as you go in to start your swing, you want to move them from 2 to 3 inches all the way out until 5 to 7 inches. As you start to swing your bat, you want to throw your hands towards the pitcher, and at that same time, you want to make your small step, which distributes some of the weight from your back foot all the way so that some is on your front foot as you go through. So you will start your swing, and you will keep your bat head basically parallel to the ground. As you go through and you finish, you want your bat head to be slightly above or just touching your front shoulder. Your swing does not simply stop with the point of contact with the ball. If you were to do this, you would not have as much power through the swing and would not be able to hit the ball as far as you would want it to go. So you need to make sure that you have the proper follow through so that you can achieve the best hit that you can. Those are basically the techniques that I have learned throughout the years, and there are many different ways that people teach these techniques, but these are the most basic ways that I have learned, and I think these are some of the best teaching methods that I have experienced as I experienced in my career as a former softball player. I hope that these talking to you today has developed your knowledge, has made you more knowledgeable about the topic of hitting and swinging a softball bat. And thank you so much for listening.